Oh boys, here it is, another compilation video for you guys. Last time we done the top 20 lazy money makers in the game and you guys seem to love that, so I thought why not do it again, but this time with training methods. Over the years I have found some of the most broken training methods in the game, so I thought why not stick them all into one video. I have made videos on a few of them before, but I've never put them all into one place. There's actually one in here that I've never seen anybody do before in the game, but it is higher than the current XP per hour meta, so that's pretty cool. It's like the best training method in the game. And nobody uses it, so we'll do that one first. But before we jump into that, I am very excited to announce that today's video is sponsored by Opera GX, the world's first gaming browser and the best browser I've ever used. I don't need to say that, I'm saying it because it's true. This thing's pretty awesome. It's got GX control that lets you limit how much resources your browser is using. This is what I find the best about it, to be honest. When I was editing videos, I was getting bottlenecked in RAM. In here you can limit how much resources your browser uses, so if you have loads of tabs open, your computer just does not bottleneck in RAM, which is pretty awesome. Be really good for gaming as well. You can limit your CPU usage. It's got a free built-in VPN. It is free to download and free to use, fully customizable. Set it to look whatever way you want. The one thing I did wrong, I didn't import my settings when I downloaded this browser a few months ago, so I had to log back into everything, but you can import your settings. Make sure you do that. You can set up whatever messengers you want on the left hand side here. You can set up whatever players you want on the left hand side. You can log into your Twitch over here and see everybody who's online in one place. It just puts everything you'd be using on your computer in one place, which is pretty damn awesome. It's also got GX Corner that shows you loads of free games you can download and play, or loads of big discounts on the big name games. The best place to download them at the cheapest price pretty much, and it shows you loads of upcoming games as well, which is pretty awesome. There's so much going on in this browser that I was very happy to advertise them in a video, and they're just pretty sweet. If you guys want to treat yourself, download them using the link in the description below. Anyway, let's crack on with the video. Let's start by completely obliterating the best melee training method in the game. So a lot of people think the best melee training method in the game is full DH at Nightmare Zone. It's a pretty good method. You can get between 80 and 120k XP per hour, depending if you use prayers and if you're max level or not, and if you use the wee power-ups that give you unlimited special attack. So 120k XP per hour on the top end, that is what a lot of people think is the best melee training method in the game. But in this list, it ranks at number 3 slot. Number 3, there's two methods I have in here that are better than this. Second best melee training method in the game is pretty crazy. I've never seen anybody do this, but it's fighting the Corporal Beast. Every single piece of damage you deal to the Corporal Beast is rewarded with 55% bonus XP. One bit of damage to Corp is not the same as one bit of damage to any other NPC in the game. 55% bonus XP. Now if you lower the Corporal Beast stats down to 1s, it means you're fighting a monster with no defense that you're going to completely melt, you're going to hit on all the time. So you have a monster with no defense, no stats. You do need to BGS spec him every few minutes to keep him that low, but that's fine. He gives you 55% bonus XP and he's got 2000 HP. Sounds good, but what do you do when his HP gets low? You leave the room and go back in and it is reset. You have a monster with unlimited HP that gives you 55% bonus XP. I'm surprised nobody's thought of this method before, but it's pretty damn awesome. So I wasn't in max gear here, I was still wearing a krill skirt. You don't need to wear that whenever you've lowered all the stats because he doesn't hit much. I was also praying mage and you don't even need to do that whenever all the stats are down at once. His stats will go up every few minutes, but you just spec him again to lower them. There is a way to permanently kill the core as well, which will make this method super AFK. I didn't do that here, but I'm sure there's guides for that online. As I'm not in max gear, I'm going to say this one could be a wee bit higher, the XP rates and what I'm getting at the minute. I'm sitting there at 180,000 XP per hour in the melee stats, so that's pretty good. I'm going to put this one between 150k and 200k melee XP per hour. That is damn good, especially because you get a wee bit of bonus range XP. And it's not perfected, you could definitely tweak this. I would say it'd be best with at least 1 or 2 mates. If you have 1 or 2 mates, you can put in the odd Crystal Halley spec, and then things can hit like 140, and with the 55% bonus XP, that's just going to be massive. And then there's 2 years to keep the stats lower, you know, to make it super AFK. Anyway, pretty good method. Let's jump on to the best melee training method in the game. So the best melee training method in the game is Organized Crime on Zaya. This here method peaks at about 400,000 XP per hour. It is insane, but not always. It's quite a strange method. So if you try to do Organized Crime in Zaya on a Thursday just after the update, all the worlds reset every half an hour. On a Thursday you can only hit 2 locations every hour and it's terrible. But if you wait till a Friday, all of the worlds kind of slip a wee bit away from each other and you can actually hit worlds constantly, world after world after world. You can do this for a full hour with no gaps on a Friday, making it completely broken, like busted. In this here clip you can see me hitting multiple locations within an hour and sitting well over 200,000 XP per hour in HP. You can use the books in attack, strength, defense, HP, You do get a bit of range and mage XP as well. In this clip here, I wasn't in max gear and I was still getting like 280k HP XP per hour in Ancients and stuff. If you have an Ancestral, you have a Kodai Wand and all that, and you're using Ice Barrage, you will get higher than this clip. But even on low level pures, you're getting like 200k XP per hour if you're using burst spells or chins or something. On my low level, low HP account, I was getting 120k XP per hour with a Vigor's Chain Mace and a cannon. Like, it's just broken. What people are getting max DHers in Nightmare Zone, I was getting on a low level pure. That there method's awesome on a Friday and a Saturday. It's okay on a Sunday, but then it's kind of hard to work out the pattern the rest of the week. But it is possible, so I could probably make a full guide for that. If you guys want, just let me know, put it in the comments and I'll make that video. Anyway, the next few methods are much simpler to explain, so let's quick fire through a few of these. The fishing spots just south of Prith are completely broken. They never move, meaning you can get full inventories of fish over and over again. One of the best fishing spots in the game, and very few people know about it. Motherlode Mine is one of the best mining training spots in the game, but a lot of people don't know you can actually enchant bolts whilst you mine without losing any mining XP. You get the mining XP and the magic XP at the exact same time. This is really good if you go upstairs in the Motherlode Mine area. If you slow by the bolts, you can actually make profit on some of them. And yeah, you also get magic XP. So this is super cool, super AFK, and it gives you both magic XP and mining XP at the same time. This next method isn't crazy XP per hour, but it is just so much better than the best crafting training methods in the game at the minute that I had to throw it in here. So a few months ago they added the ability to craft split bark into the game, and I think loads of people must have missed this because there's nobody doing it. At the minute you can buy fine cloths for 7k each. I've actually bought 10,000 of them over the past few days for 7k each, which is just mental because the bark is super cheap. It's like 30 to 50 GP each. And you need 3 of each to make these things. So these things are costing me just over 21k, and the split bark legs alk for 24k, meaning this can never drop. As long as I'm buying them here at 7k, it can never drop in price because people will always alk the split bark legs. Yesterday I was actually selling split bark legs for 25k and loads of them actually sold. So this here just prints money. You're chatting like 3 to 6 million GP per hour profit whilst crafting a skill that usually loses you money. It's usually a buyable skill. Could make you over 200 million GP getting up to level 99. It's pretty awesome, definitely worth checking out. It does say they're 7.3 or 7.4k each. Even then you're making over 1k per body or per legs. You don't want to make the bodies, they're less profit. But yeah, it's a pretty awesome one. They do alk for a wee bit higher than that. They alk for 24k, or you could just sell them to the G between 23 and 25k a piece. Pretty awesome, definitely worth doing. The strongest special attack in the game. Now this isn't a method, but it works with loads of other methods. Organised crime, Slayer, anything in a multi-area. Probably like 10 or 15 methods this can be applied to. And I've never seen anybody use it. It is of course the Dim's Bulwark, but not by itself. The Dim's Bulwark by itself is awesome. It can aggro full rooms when you're doing Slayer. It can hit up to 416 damage. It is pretty crazy, and nobody really uses it as a special attack, or very few people. But if you combo it with a Serpentine Helm, it gives it a 16% chance of inflicting venom. Just for the special, you just put those 2 items on, pop off the special, then back to your Slayer Helm. Boost that max hit up to over 1000 because it hits the first creature twice, hits everything else in the room once. It has an attack range of 121 tiles, a massive box. If you use this in Slayer, it'll boost your attack XP per hour and your Slayer XP per hour, because the venom slowly kills the monsters and you get full Slayer XP when they die, which is pretty awesome. If you use it in Organised Crime, it'll give you more attack, strength, defense, or HP XP, because it'll kill more of those gangsters. You'll get more intel. And yeah, it'll just lead to you getting loads more XP per hour. The normal special attack of this thing is so underrated. The average hit in a multi-area is like 150. There's 150 with that spec. This one here, look at the XP drop, 734. That's 183 damage with one spec, and then the venom just slowly starts killing everything in the room. The Dim's Bulwark is actually crazy though, the more you think about it. This has an attack range of 11 by 11 squares. These 2 green tiles, they're 11 squares apart, so it attacks the person in the middle and then hits everything within 5 tiles in any direction, not just along this line. It will work same north and south, northeast, southwest, whatever. It will hit everything in that box, and that's a pretty big box, but look at that, hits all of them along the line. It's just got a really good range, really good for aggroing creatures, really good for the husks in the Nightmare Zone, really good for the nibblers in Inferno as well, especially the high up waves. You can start in a really tanky setup and then kill the nibblers with the bulwark. So yeah, bulwark's pretty awesome. Let's crack on. The Volcanic mine, one of the best mining training spots in the game. At level 50 you can get 50k XP per hour, way higher than Motherlode mine, and it's super AFK. You just need to come down here, mine and replace this vent 3 times, then you just leave, wait for another game to start and repeat the process. Super easy, not very difficult, gives you 50k XP per hour at low level. But what I found when I was down here training is these lava beasts give you mining XP for dealing damage to them, and they take double damage from water spells. So if the max hit with a water spell is 20, you can hit 40 in these dudes, which is pretty crazy. About 2 weeks ago the Tome of Water came into the game, and that means you can deal way higher damage with water spells now than you ever could before. Now most of the max people who just come down here and mine don't get the best XP. If you just cast off a few spells, you can boost your mining XP. With that Tome of Fire doing the noob loop, the one where you just do the 90-second loop coming down here, it had boosted up probably to about 52k XP per hour. Not massive, but if you do the big one, the 90k XP per hour games, the full games down here in the Volcanic mine, with Ancestral, with the Tome of Water, you could probably get over 100k mining XP per hour at the higher levels. That's pretty cool. The best cooking training method in the game is uncooked curries, but nobody uses it. The reason why is these are not tradable in the Grand Exchange. However, they are tradable. You can get any noob in the game to make you these curries, and then you cook them and get over 280 XP each, or exactly 280 XP each. There's nothing as high as that. Raw summer pies, they give 260, and they're a tier 95 food. These things here are only tier 60. They've got a super low burn rate, and they give crazy XP per hour. Like, look at that, 400k XP per hour whilst chilling out, cooking 20 at a time. The only thing that gives slightly higher is 1-tick cranbrams, but that gives you broken fingers, so this is definitely worth doing. Construction XP and Slayer XP in Nightmare Zone. So if you build your account without Dragon Slayer Part 1 before your Slayer grind, you cannot get assigned dragons from a Slayer Master. If you use Neve, you can then get assigned only Nightmare Zone tasks, which is mental. Well, there's actually 3 or 4 tasks that aren't Nightmare Zone, but you can block them, and then you can skip the other ones with your points and only do Nightmare Zone tasks. You can then pick monsters with big bones as your secondary monsters, and you will get loads of long bones while you train your Slayer in Nightmare Zone, while you max in Nightmare Zone with getting Slayer XP, which is pretty cool. It's a strange path to take, but it's just super AFK, 20 minutes AFK at a time, and you get attack, strength, defense, range, mage, whatever you want, with Slayer and construction on top. We're going to wrap this up with the best prayer training method in the game. This one's free if you train your woodcutting on Fossil Island or your hunter on Fossil Island with herbivores, and they are 2 really good methods, so it's definitely worth doing. When you do that, you get a ton of fossils. You can use some of these in the Rock Museum for 120,000 XP in any skill, and you get loads of bonus XP over from the girl in the museum as well. So it's definitely worth doing. Before you even start the prayer training, you get a ton of XP. You can use all your leftover fossils over here though for prayer XP, which is free prayer XP, one of the most expensive skills in the game, and you can get a chunk of XP in it for free. It does say 3.9 million XP per hour there, but that was me handing the biggest bones. Works out to be over 700k XP per hour, even with the small bones though, whenever you're handing them in. Anyway, we're going to wrap this one up here. I do have like 20 or 30 other methods, but some of them are quite common. I don't want to do any that are common in this video. I want to stick to some of the like rarer ones, or the ones that aren't used as much in the game. Anyway, if you like this video, hit some of them buttons below for the algorithms, maybe whack in a wee comment, and I will catch you guys in the next video very soon. Thanks for watching, bye!